Wow, class of 2020, Dr. Ken has come back home. Oh, oh, oh. Sorry for the delay. It took me 16 months to write the speech. I had I'm a perfectionist, can lead. Okay, worth the wait. I'm to the class of 2020. Thank you. We are all here for you. I am here for you. And this is actually what I told President Price last night. It's just whatever you need. He reached out to me last year. Would you like to speak commencement? Whatever you need. We can't do the commencement because of pandemic. Can you just do a short video? Whatever you need. Can you come back? Whatever you need. And so from the bottom of my heart, I'm sorry. I'm looking at each one of you right now and just saying, from me to you, the class of 2020, whatever you need, I'm always here for you. So just wanted you to know that. Because we are going through this together. We have survived this together, and my love, thoughts, and prayers to go to all of us who have lost during this, and we're going to get through this together. That's why I'm here. That's why we're all here, to get through this together, because we collectively are Duke. So, and bringing back so many memories. This just personally for me, a shout out to my sister who is here, also a BN Duke scholar and smarter than me, but whatever. And my father, who is a retired professor of economics, whose dream was to have his kids go to Duke. Personally for me, just to be a student here, I had already won. That was my whole goal as a kid. I grew up in Greensboro, North Carolina. I grew up just an hour from here. I did all my formative years in Greensboro, and that was the dream, to come here. And then once I got here, I was just a snot-nosed kid from Trent 2. That was like back in '86 on North Campus. I was a snot-nosed kid, and never in my wildest dreams did I think I would be looking here at you today. There's so many memories. I was, first and foremost, we were K-ville before K-ville was a thing. Back in '86, we had tents. It wasn't legal. We skipped school. We did shift work. My grades suffered. It was an amazing time. Tommy Amaker was a senior. Danny Ferry was the star. And we lost and we loved it. No, but now it is so incredible just walking through Duke. And I was just going by Cameron yesterday. I forgot I had started like my own chant at Cameron my sophomore year in '88. And there was a Duke Carolina game, and there was a player by the name of King Rice for UNC. He was a scrub that was coming off the bench, and I was just like, oh no, not Rice. And then everyone, oh no, not Rice. And we won, and I earned it, and it's because of me. So I give myself credit. Absolutely. I mean, granted, he came back next year, scored 30 points, and we lost. But that's beside the point, guys. But it's hard to know what to say right now, except that I look at you because I was you, I am you. And this to me, it's hard to say what I want to say, because so many people before me have said this. I was just an average kid. I was just an average Duke student. I was just an everyday Duke student. I don't have the legacy that any of my fellow honorees have. All I have in life to offer is my heart, and I'm offering that to you right now. All I have is love, and if that is the only thing you come out of this, is just to love one another, to find your identity, to find your flow in life, that's all we need. That's all we need right now, is to find ourselves. And it's and what I mean by finding myself, I didn't want to be an actor. I was here to be pre-med. And proudly, wanting to be pre-med. And then my second semester, I took an intro to acting class, and it just changed my life. I never did theater in high school. I just was overcome with this passion and emotion to perform that has not been extinguished since. I did do drama. I did Hoof and Horn that year, my sophomore year. Kiss Me, Kate was the first play I'd ever done in my life. And I got my first review from The Spectator. And The Spectator said, I know this from memory. Like, have I mentioned Ken Jeong, a puckish member of the chorus who best watches back if he keeps upstaging the principals? That was my first and only good review of my career. So I actually auditioned to get into Duke Drama at the end of my sophomore year and got in. David Ball was the head of Duke Drama at that time, and I still remember the audition. It was so heartbreaking because I had to come to Jesus talk, not with my parents, but with myself. I didn't know who I was. I didn't have confidence that I could perform, that I could act, that I could do comedy. I knew I had an aptitude, but I thought I would just go on my way. This is a pre-professional school. I'll be a doctor. I'll be the guy. Oh, he could have been, and I would have been cool with it. That, I thought, was in the cards for me. And Duke Drama was incredibly supportive. They were like, we believe in your talent. We also believe that you're smart enough to handle both curriculums at the same time. You can be drama, you can be a zoology major, both. You can be a double major. I'm like, no, I can't. I'm not that smart. I'm a hardworking guy, and I work hard for everything I've been given. But it was the most difficult period of my life during Duke to try to discover my identity. And eventually, I did repair my orgo grade. Second semester, it went from like an A to a C minus. And I was fortunate enough to get into med school. And by the way, shout out to Coach Cut. Great game yesterday. Shout out to Coach Cut. I met him a few years ago, and he told a recruit, he said, he goes, Ken went to UNC med school, which is why he became a comedian. So I love that. God bless him. And it's kind of true. So, but what I'm trying to say is that I found my identity. I ultimately found my passion. I found out exactly who I was at Duke. And it is safe to say that I never would have the fame, fortune, happiness, livelihood, family that I have right now, the value systems that I cherish in my life, if I didn't go to Duke, because I would not be myself. I would not be here today. I would not be acting. I would not be doing anything that I love to do. And it's because of Duke, I owe you everything. And I just thank you so much. Thank you. Freshman year, no, thank you, no. What I loved about Duke, in addition to my passion in finding my identity, was I got to hang out and occasionally get drunk with the most brilliant minds, and that was so inspiring. Meeting a lot of people through Duke that have provided so many gifts to the world, and that goes back to my Duke experience, where I've met the most brilliant minds who've moved on to do the most amazing things. And you know, with regard to the pandemic, we always say, generically, don't deny the science. Don't deny the science. Let science dictate policy. Don't deny the science. And to the class of 2020, don't deny your potential. I'm living proof of what your potential can be. If you have an idea, follow it. Find your flow. That has been my whole life's mission right now, is to find my flow. Any idea is a good idea. Find your flow. Don't deny your potential. You get to explore your potential at Duke at the highest level, at the highest rate of work ethic, in the most wonderfully intense learning environments. Never sell yourself short like I initially did in my life. You never know what you can achieve. I went with the flow. I had an open mind, and look what happened. This is what happened then. This is how I live my life now. And now I'm a father of 2 beautiful daughters who are here with me today. And that's how I tell them how to live their life. And even in the area of medicine, public health, people are looking for outside-the-box creative minds like our honorees to evolve our vaccines, our antivirals, and our treatments. And as Duke graduates, we all can offer something to that equation, because no matter what profession you choose in your life, never deny your potential. Find your flow. That's important while you're at Duke. It's more important now that we've left Duke. If you go with that feeling, which we were all able to cultivate at an early age and never let go of, everybody who graduates Duke University can go far. And true success, at the end of the day, is capitalizing on your own uniqueness. Find your integrative self. Even when I was a practicing physician, just kind of wanting to do comedy, I realized medicine, science, can be also my art. I learned the vocabulary and clinical algorithms as an internist. And what I learned, even from my comedy background, even if that was where I was destined to be, I made my job, I've made my science my art. Listening to the patient, listening to the symptomatology, reading the results of the test, and synthesizing this information with critical thinking and making decisions off of that information. And that's what I learned at Duke. That's the most important thing I learned, is critical thinking, integration of our knowledge base, and passion, and absorbing that into one blend. Find your flow. Integrate your critical thinking into your art, because the best critical thinkers are the best leaders. Anyone who goes to college is being put in a position to succeed. But as Duke graduates, you're being put in a position to succeed and lead. Find your passion, find your identity, and use both to lead. And it's amazing in LA, in Hollywood, where everyone's lazy. They're just like, you have an amazing work ethic. No, I don't. I have a Duke work ethic. I don't work any harder than anybody here before me right now. In order to survive, I had no choice but to work hard. That is my biggest talent. I cultivated my work ethic at Duke, and there's always a part of me, of Duke, a part of me no matter where I go. Whatever, I've cultivated that's even more important than fame or fortune. I've never stopped learning. I've always evolved. I'm always trying to figure things out, knowing that I don't have life all figured out. Because the moment you think you have life all figured out, you have a pandemic in front of you, and then what do? You know what? You keep searching, you keep moving forward, because eventually you can be part of the solution and not the problem, because that is what a true Duke graduate does. And I'm still learning things, right? Even my own small corner of the world, still evolving, still trying to move beyond just comedy and overacting, still trying to move beyond just evolving. I directed my first short film a month ago, and it was one of the best experiences of my life. I never went to film school. I'm just learning. I'm learning right now. And honestly, because what I've cultivated here with the Asian Student Association, just being involved in the Stop Asian Hate movement, that has informed me for the rest of my life. What I've learned here, finding my own identity with ASA. And on the COVID front, trying to, like Vince said, raise awareness, conducting Instagram Lives with heads of state. Next week, I'm even doing an Instagram Live with the Surgeon General, Vivek Murthy, at Ken Jeong. Follow me now. And I'm always evolving. I'm at a new chapter in our life. We're all at a new chapter in our lives. We're all resetting ourselves right now because of the pandemic. And I'm in the middle of that reset too. I don't know exactly what I'm going to do tomorrow, but I know what I'll always do is keep learning, never stop evolving, because you never know. And in my own world, I had an uncertain future, and I found a way to embrace it, not knowing where the end point is. And if I am 52 years old, I know I look damn good and still excited as to where my end point will be. I challenge each and every one of you to the Duke class of 2020 to have that same passion and excitement. And that is a true value of a Duke degree. It truly is. Thank you so much. Congrats to the class of 2020. You made it, and I love you. Go Duke! Thank you.